Hey everyone, I am so sorry that we missed getting some time together during the live lesson. But if you were not present at the live lesson, which attendance was recorded, so I know who you are, you do need to watch this video and participate through an Edpuzzle. We did Pear Deck as a way for all of us to participate, but we're going to do it on Edpuzzle here so you can answer the same questions and still get the same level of participation. So, welcome aboard. I'm excited for you guys to be here. It has been a fun first day. We're working through things and figuring out how exactly this is going to work, but I feel really confident and really excited that I can handle it and that you can handle it. So today is our first live lesson. You are now watching this, obviously not live, but like I said, you're getting the same content in which we're going to spend most of the time thinking about what are the expectations for our digital classroom. So our task for today are to identify important digital expectations and develop some norms, and for you guys to walk away understanding what is expected from you behaviorally as well as educationally during this NTI 2.0 time. We're going to start by introducing, and exploring Google Sites and Google Classroom. We're going to practice using some more text. So you guys are using Edpuzzle, and I am presenting through a Google slide. And you're going to have to explore and take a look at Google Classroom and at Google Sites. We're going to explain digital norms and then create and come up with some ideas of what the digital classroom expectations would be. So what to expect is every Monday you're going to get an Edpuzzle previewing what we're doing for the week. Everyone has to complete it, and that Monday just kind of gives you an idea of what you should expect and what you should know to be doing throughout the week. We're going to be utilizing all different types of platforms, so Google Classroom and Edpuzzle and Google Meet and all of these things. Today you're using Edpuzzle, Google Sites, and Google Classroom to do this work. So first thing I need you to do is please click on the link and take a minute to go explore my Google site. So hopefully you were able to find this Google site and were able to notice a couple of things. So the next question I would like you guys to think about is, what are the things that you found in Google site? So when you went over to the Google site, I hope that you're noticing that this is a place with a wealth of information for you. You can learn a little bit about me. You can find information like our expectations, what the schedule looks like for this week, the syllabus. You can get some support for technology. So a couple of places there. You can get some support for your mental and emotional health through what I call a tank check, as well as resources connecting you to counselors and support in the school. You can get an idea of what all we're going to be talking about this week and what tasks you have to complete. And then available to you right now are Lesson 1 and Lesson 2. Lesson 1 being the Edpuzzle to preview the week, and then Assignment 2 or Lesson 2, which is to sign your syllabus. So I hope you're able to find some of those things. Next, I want you to go and again, click on the link that will take you to your Google Classroom. Go to your specific period and tell me what are some things what are some things that are found there, and what all are you able to come up with? Great. So I hope that you were able to go to your Google Classroom, and just from some exploring, you should find things like your classwork. You should find assignments. You can find the mate links for meets. So next time, hopefully, you can come in person. You see that where to find that. If we go to Google Classroom and we go to, let's say, the first one I have when it loads is period 2. You'll notice that again, we have meets. It tells you what time class is happening. There are some announcements that I've made, if you haven't seen them, to get you to the Google site, as well as a schedule that it might be a good idea for you to copy down. Over in the classwork, you see some important things like some tech support items. So an area to ask questions, an area to problem solve. You can find your syllabus, so the document to read, as well as the form to sign. You see your first assignment of the week 1 preview, which is an Edpuzzle link that you click and then complete. You will find you'll find a question that you'll be answering at the end of watching this live lesson, or not live. You get the idea. So I hope you're able to find some important information that will help make this whole transition easier. So I told you one thing to expect is that on Mondays, you're going to have a preview that is posted for you. Throughout the week, different assignments will be posted as we get to them. So with each live lesson, there'll be specific assignments that are posted. The good news is that if you are doing this Edpuzzle because you missed the live lesson, you're still getting what you need. And then those assignments really just have to be done by Sunday at 11:59. So even if coming to live class does not work best for your schedule or whatever's going on in your life at this moment, you should still have what you need to get through them, and you have the week to complete the work. So the other thing, already discussed this multiple times about the live lectures. If you can't make it, you're doing this. This is a reminder about those live lecture times. So as we get into this routine, hopefully we'll become more and more comfortable and confident in understanding of when we have to be there. There are some basic expectations of what we should do, like being on time, making sure that you're in an appropriate area, muting your mic, and just be ready to participate. I did have a lot of kids ask if they had to have their videos on, and no, you don't. I like seeing you, so that makes it feel like I'm not just talking to a blank screen like I am now. But if it's not comfortable for you, you don't have to. I am going to have office hours as well as this free time for you guys, anyone from any class period, to come through and say hi, ask about expectations. If you have a parent or guardian that you would like me to meet, if you need some help on an assignment, that will be my time to assist you. Some other things to kind of just help make this easier for you: make sure that you pay attention to the numbers. So you're doing the assignments in the order that they're numbers. So right now, assignments 1, 2, and assignment 3 is about to be posted. And you need to make sure that you're doing those in that order, and always turning it in, always pushing that button on Google Classroom. There are a million ways to reach me if you're having any issues with this. I want to be of support to you. So please feel free to ask questions, but at the same time, use your resources to try and figure stuff out. Now, the point of this actual lesson is to talk about what are some classroom expectations. This is a completely different environment than what it is in what it's like if we're regularly back in school. That being said, these generic norms of being safe, being responsible, being respectful, being prepared, being here, that's still what we need to do no matter where we are. So I want us to spend the next little bit thinking about what that looks like in this digital space. So, what does it look like to be safe in our digital classroom? In our regular classroom, that might be keeping our hands and feet to ourselves, or that might be not running or horseplaying and hitting each other. But what does it mean to be safe in our digital classroom? Same idea. What does it mean to be responsible in our digital classroom? In our regular classroom at Western High School, being responsible might be making sure you have your materials for class. Being responsible might be cleaning up after yourself when you do an activity. But what does that look like in our digital space? What does it look like to be respectful in our digital space? In our classroom space at Western, that might mean not talking while the teacher is talking, or that might mean calling each other by the name that we like to be called by and not talking bad about each other. It might be respectful to not touch each other's stuff, but we're not around each other like that. So what does it look like to be respectful in our digital classroom? What does it look like to be prepared in our digital classroom? So prepared when we're at Western might be on time to class with your pencil, or prepared might be reading over your notes before taking a test. What does it mean to be prepared in our digital classroom? And lastly, what does it look like to be here in our digital classroom? It's really easy to understand that in our normal classroom, that means that you're on time to class, you come to school, you're not getting in trouble so you can be physically at class and be there and be engaged. But what do you have to do to be here, to be present, to be engaged and participating in our digital classroom? What does that look like? Awesome work, guys. We came up with a really great list of expectations of how to transfer these 5 key ideas of how we should be behaving to our new digital classroom space that we're creating. Some other things to think about just with basic online etiquette and conduct is to make sure that you're always checking your email and keeping lines of communication open. You're using Google Sites and Google Classroom and checking them regularly to see if there's new things available to you. That means turning in your work, completing your work fully, completing your work to your ability, not just using Google or the internet as a resource. Staying on topic and not adding inappropriate comments or saying inappropriate things or off-task things when we are in our live meets in the chat, or turning off your mic or turning on your mic and saying something. That's just stuff that we don't need to be doing anymore, okay? And the expectation really needs to be that we have to participate. The more that you put in and the more that you're trying in this, the more you're going to get out of it. I want to give you all some snaps. This is a way, you'll notice I do this a lot. This is a way that I am showing that I hear you, that I understand you, and that I appreciate what you're contributing. So thank you for your work today in contributing to these expectations. If you have any questions, concerns, or problems, please find a way to get in contact with me if the tech support is not sufficient. And be ready to complete these first 3 assignments. So the first ed puzzle, the preview, that's the first thing that needs to be done. You need to read and sign the syllabus. By signing, I literally mean filling out a form and showing me that you and your parent or guardian have taken a look at that. Continue exploring Google Site and Google Classroom to get comfortable with it, and be ready to hopefully join for live lesson 2, which is on Thursday and Friday this week. You have a closing activity to wrap this up. It is listed as a question, and it is number 3, asking you to think and reflect on which of those 5 B statements that we talked about are going to be easiest for you to follow and why, and which ones are going to be the hardest for you to follow and why. That's all I have for you today. Thank you guys for joining in and completing this asynchronous version of the live lesson that we did earlier. Again, I look forward to seeing you guys in person sometime. And oops, that's not what I meant to do. And see you later. Bye.